Today I have JR on here. Let me just get him set up here. You can kind of see him. Hold up. I gotta get something bigger to stand you up, JR. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll find something. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about sports, we're gonna tell you what's to decide, or like all the facts that you need to know on this year's upcoming playoffs. It's gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you predictions. You guys are gonna tell us what your predictions are, and we're gonna tell you what we think about your predictions.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yes, but I don't think I am, JR, because I gotta stand you up somewhere. So just hold on, guys. I'm gonna find something. I just get like a bunch of books and stack my phone on top of them. That will do. Oh, here we go. Gotta work with what I can here, guys. So, bunch of books, bunch of random books. Okay, you're on, JR.
Okay. So, tomorrow, January 11th, the Chargers will be playing the Houston Texans.
Yes, the Chargers will be playing the Houston Texans. It's amazing that the Chargers were able to make it into the playoffs, but I just think Houston's a really good team, and they know how to do what they can, and I think they're going to pull through with the win.
I think that the Chargers will win because
C.J.
Stroud has not looked as well as he did last year.
Well, he is a very good player, and he hasn't done good this year, but I do think that that he has done better in the past. But I think one of the key things that will help is how many weapons he has and all the weapons that he has on his wide receiver core and the tight ends and everybody that he just has, I think will help him look good even if he's not having his best season.
Well, you have to remember that Tank Dell is injured and may
He
be
is.
injured for next season, too.
He is, but is Stefon Diggs back? Do we know any info on that, JR?
No, Stefon Diggs will be out for the season, too.
Okay. I still think, though, that the Texans still have enough weapons to pull through. And while Justin Herbert is a really good quarterback and has done pretty good this season, I still think that the Houston Texans have some pretty good weapons to pull through for them.
Okay. Thank you, Noah. The next game is the Steelers versus the Ravens.
The Steelers versus the Ravens. Well, the Steelers have been a pretty good team this year, not looking like a pretender, but a contender because they know what they're doing and they know how to move the ball downfield. With having the amount of losses that they have, which I believe is 7, the record is 10-7. They're still a good team despite their record, but after all, the Ravens have been as well as they are this season, and I think the Ravens will pull through with the win because of how they played.
I think the Ravens will win as well because the Pittsburgh Steelers fell apart at the end of the season.
They did.
So,
but they're still a worthy team of what they're capable of.
Yeah. Okay. The next game is on Sunday at 1 p.m. and it is the Broncos-Bills game.
Broncos-Bills. Well, the Broncos, they've been a good team this season. They beat the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs have had some pretty lucky wins. Plays like no PI calls or person out of bounds, or against the Broncos 2 games ago when they played them. They missed a field goal, and it's just the Chiefs are barely winning most of these games, and they should have more losses than wins. And the Broncos did what they needed to do and won 38-0. But after all, the Bills are still a very good team who I think will pass through the playoffs and make the Super Bowl this season for representing the AFC. So I think that will be the AFC winner. So I think the Bills will win that game.
I feel like the Bills will win, but I don't feel like the Bills' offense will go off on the Broncos' defense because the Broncos have a pretty good defense right now.
They do.
But I don't think the Broncos can hold to the Bills' defense.
Yeah.
With a young rookie against a pretty good defense, I don't think he can hold.
Yeah, their defense is pretty good, and especially against what the Buffalo Bills are running up against. Josh Allen, he just knows how to move the ball downfield.
Yeah.
What's the next game?
Okay. The next game is Packers versus Eagles. That was the first game of the regular season for the Packers and Eagles. They played each other on, I believe, a Sunday night for the first game this season for the Packers and Eagles.
I believe that the Eagles won that.
Yes, the Eagles did.
And
Jordan Love got hurt in that game.
And showing what the Packers did in their last game of the season against the Chicago Bears, it shows that the Packers are really a contenders team, pretenders team, and they're pretending to be who they're really not, especially winning to the Bears, who have had a huge losing streak over the past several games, and had only won 4 games before beating the Packers. And I think that the Packers will not win, especially because the Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC this season. And I just think the Packers don't really stand a super good chance, especially at what they're against.
I think the Eagles are a really good team, and
You just glitched
their
out.
offense.
You glitched
If
out.
their offense gets going, then they're a good offense. So I'm going to take the Eagles. I don't think the Packers defense.
I also think the Eagles will win. They just have a better way of pulling through.
Okay, next game is Washington Commanders versus the Buccaneers. That's going to be a really good game.
So Washington is the underdog in this game, but I do think Washington will win because it's amazing that 2 rookie quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, made it to the playoffs this season. And I just think Jaden Daniels, for what he's doing, is set up for lots of success in his years ahead. And I also think that with the weapons that he has with Terry McLaurin and all the other players that he has, and his defense and the rest of his offense really can help him and pull through a victory against the Buccaneers, who are very good this season. Don't get me wrong. Mike Evans breaking records in the past few games against New Orleans. What's his name? Why am I blanking on this? Tampa Bay's QB, Baker Mayfield. What he's done as an amazing quarterback, throwing for the amount of passing yards that he has. I think what he's doing is just really incredible, and what that team has put together down in Tampa.
Okay. Thank you. And I think that this will be a really close game.
I do
But
too.
I have to pick. I have to pick the Buccaneers only because some of the Buccaneers players have more playoff experience
That's true.
than a rookie team. But I think I'll take the Bucs in this game.
I think the Bucs stand a very good chance. I just think with what the Commanders are doing, they also have a very good chance too. So I don't really know what the outcome of this game will be, but I think it'll be very close, and it will come down to the day that game happens.
Thank you. I have one more. The Vikings versus the Rams.
Well, this game, the news came out yesterday that this game will be moved to Arizona because of all the wildfires down in the LA area. And I just want to say to any of my viewers from California, I'm very sorry about all of this and just the fact that all this is happening.
Same too with California.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yes. I do think the Rams are a very strong team, and so are the Vikings. But I really think that this game is going to be pretty close because these two teams are both about the same team, and I think that this game will all come down to game day. That's just one of those games where I just can't decide. But with what the Rams have and what the Vikings have and the Vikings' weapons, I do think the Vikings, as the underdog, will still pull through.
Thank you. I think that the Vikings will maybe win.
Yes, it will be very close for sure.
It will be very close, but
Thank you, JR. Shall we predict the round 2, perhaps?
I have some news.
Yes?
That Chargers may make a playoff free agency cut with signing Ezekiel Elliott, who was a former Dallas Cowboys running back to play against the Texans.
You think that will happen now? Is he in what's it called, free agency?
Yes.
Are they allowed to pick up free agency players after the trade deadline, JR?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. That will be huge for the Chargers, especially with the O-line, what they have, picking up some players in the draft. That was really important. And Justin Herbert's experience with some of his fellow teammates down there at SoFi Stadium, I think that would be a nice place for him.
Thank you.
Shall we predict round 2?
Round 2 for what?
For the playoffs.
Okay.
Or did you have something to say?
I think that was all for the playoffs. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for all of the presentations.
Thank you, JR.
I have some more news. That okay, so 1 second.
Hold on, guys. All right, guys, just a little warning. At 8 o'clock, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. Me and JR are planning to stream tomorrow night. So if you guys like streams like this, just know that JR, he will be on tomorrow, but at a better angle. He won't be like this at all. He's just getting approved for live streaming, and he'll be ready tomorrow to stream. And I'll be like on one camera, he'll be like on the other, and it will be really cool. So what do you have next for us, JR?
Okay. So former Texan that was drafted to the Texans and got traded to
this season?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh, yes.
Do you think that Deshaun Deshaun Watson will be kept, or do you think the Browns will pick another quarterback in the NFL draft?
It will all come down to draft day, I think, and what they decide that they want to pick, because they will probably have to see how the rest of their season comes out and what they do and how many wins they have, and just seeing if there's any other injuries that will happen and what they might need coming into the draft, maybe instead of another player. It will depend on what they need.
I have three more things.
Okay.
Former Chiefs player, former Dolphins player, Tyreek Hill, quit on the Miami Dolphins after the Dolphins game.
I did hear about that. I don't blame Tyreek Hill under the conditions that Tua Tagovailoa has set for him and his team, with him having many concussions and not taking responsibility to wear safety guards. So he is in harm's way of getting more hurt for not taking safety precautions. And with Tyreek Hill's with his talent that he has, people are calling him washed now, which I personally don't think is true. He's still young and he has lots of potential and a few years left for us to see what he can do. But if he can land a nice spot on the right team, I think he can go places, many places.
There are some rumors that he may go to the LA Chargers if he wanted to.
Well, everything that you told us about tonight, JR, with the Chargers and what they're trying to do here, I think that they could have lots of weapons if they pick up all these guys that we've been talking about and they're taking on to try and get certain players that they've shown that they want.
I have one more, but this one is, can I do it? This one is this next one is
Oh, come in. Do you want to be a part of the stream?
Yeah.
All right, guys. My brother Brody is coming on here.
Yo, what's up, guys?
This next one is a NBA one.
What up, JR?
Me and JR are just doing a sports stream right now, talking about sports.
Nice.
So you can just be our guest here and sit down and relax.
All right, cool.
Zion Williams will be suspended for one game after a fight with his own team. Zion Williams, who plays for the Pelicans.
Now, personally, I get in fights with a lot of my teammates all the time, but it's really not good because you shouldn't do that because they're your teammates. But I think, though, that the NBA is really hard on some of these rules, and people are mad. They're not perfect. They get in fights a lot, but I also think the NBA has a lot of stupid rules where they're coming out with these different stuff, and I just don't think, I think what they're doing is just wrong in many places.
I have one more. You'll probably like this. Former Michigander J.J. McCarthy goes viral on the sideline of on the Vikings sideline at the Detroit Lions game as the Vikings lost to the Detroit Lions.
How did he go viral? I'm a huge JJ McCarthy fan, so I would like to hear this.
And he went viral on social media because people saw him on Fox, and now there's a ton of memes of him. And do you think next year, if when JJ McCarthy gets healthy, do you think he'll be the starter, or do you think Sam Darnold will be the starter?
Now, there's been a lot of speculation on what will happen with that, and I think JJ's skills, he's a very good quarterback, but with Sam Darnold and his troubles in the league a few years ago, and now what he's done for the Vikings, I honestly think that Sam Darnold would stay, and JJ McCarthy might have to sit through a whole nother season, not injured, but on the sidelines, because Sam Darnold is just so good, and I think maybe JJ will either get traded or Sam Darnold will take a seat, and we'll see how JJ will get to play next season. But, JR, what are the memes about?
Oh, like
His hair? People are saying he looks like Anakin Skywalker. How about that?
Yeah. And I think that if anything, I think that JJ McCarthy will get to play because they wouldn't waste a top. Wasn't he a top 10 draft pick?
He was the 10th draft pick, but nobody believed. You see, ever since Kirk Cousins got hurt last season, then he got traded over the offseason, and the Vikings bouncing around quarterbacks like the Josh Dobbs, and he was pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but he just isn't a starter QB. And I think now we see that the Vikings are trying to figure out who's their quarterback, and they've been finding system quarterbacks, but now a franchise QB. Sam Darnold has shown what he is with the right weapons, and I honestly think JJ will have playing time, just not as much as he should, because his potential will be covered because of the spot that the Vikings are in finding a quarterback, and they don't want to have any busts.
True. If Sam Darnold were to have a really good season next year, do you think if a team needed a QB, do you think McCarthy would want to go and get traded somewhere if he doesn't play next season?
I honestly do, because I think his contract is only 2 years, and I think he'd want out, especially as just being drafted a few years prior, and people want to see his potential, especially because he played so well at Michigan, and he has lots of talent that is just being held on the sideline waiting to be used, and I think that he will get tired of sitting on the sideline, and I think that will be time to start get some playing time in. I think this whole scandal, though, is pretty bad on what's going on, because JJ, he might have a few years where he just can't play him. It's all going to come down to how the Vikings will play out their QBs next season.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm probably going to stream tomorrow with JR. It's gonna be a lot cooler because he won't just be like on my phone here. I'm gonna be like probably like over here. I'll have my own half of the screen, and he will have his own half of the screen here. He's just getting approved to live stream on his phone because it takes like 24 hours, and he didn't have that because he's never live streamed before. But if you're not subscribed to me, subscribe to me, or you don't have to, but I just post a lot of cool sports videos, and you guys can check out what I have. And I'm going to start doing live streams like this, because talking about sports and covering it, it's just one thing that me and Jared both like do. So I'll try to do this maybe a few times a week, and we'll see how it goes. So tomorrow, check in. I don't know when I'll be streaming, but I'll do like a post on my community. So see you guys. Peace.